Welcome to the True Grime Stories podcast, where in every episode, we'll unravel a new mystery of cleaning business transformation from a grimy mess to a great success. Join me, your host, Jeannie Henderson, as together we dig up cleaning business secrets that you've been dying to know. Well, hello, everybody in the residential cleaning world out there. Welcome to True Grime Stories, and I'm so glad you have joined me today. I'm your host, Jeannie Henderson. This is going to be an extra double the fun episode because we have a power couple here today. Some friends of ours, Debbie and Eric Emms. They are an amazing duo that runs Rise and Shine cleaning service in Portland, Oregon. They've been in business for 11 years, and they have shared a lot of their stories within the cleaning industry. Many of you might know Eric. He's a senior coach in the Cleaning Business Fundamentals program. Debbie's well known also and has gotten involved in leadership roles in the cleaning industry as well. And they have some great stories to share. So I'm not going to go too deep into it so that we can hear it directly from them. So welcome, Debbie and Eric.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. We are so excited to be here. So thank you for having us on here. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's been a long time coming. And we asked more than once to get you here because it was that important. And so I'm so glad that we made that happen. So how did you two get started in the cleaning business? What drew you into this fun, crazy world of residential cleaning?
Well, I'm the reason why he likes this to scrub toilets. So it started off. My parents were in the commercial cleaning business, and so I was a teenager and worked in their company. Worked my way through school, doing it, loved it, and just kind of found our way into the residential. So we were at kind of a crossroads in our professional careers. I'm a teacher, and we wanted to find a way to combine our families to be able to work together. And it really was just kind of the next natural step to, hey, what about cleaning? Because it's what I know a lot about. Residential, we weren't really sure, but we jumped in both feet. I mean, I know you've got something to add to that.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much the story. Ultimately, we were looking for time freedom. We didn't want to be corporate slave anymore. And I mean, I was working 12-hour days and she was a teacher working a lot of hours, and we wanted time freedom. And we thought, oh, well, if we start our own thing, then we'll have time freedom.
How'd that go for you?
Joke was on us at the beginning. It didn't really work out that way.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know your pain in that regard as well. I had the same. That was kind of what drew me to the cleaning business as well, was time with my family. And then I had no time at all once I was suddenly working 24/7. Yeah. It was a terrible surprise, but it helps us seek solutions. Yeah. And so, Rise and Shine. I have a funny little story. So before I really got to know you, I remember seeing you like for the first time at one of our big CBF events, thinking, oh, who's that cool couple over there? And, I was impressed just by seeing you. You're, just seemed like you got it all together. You're a beautiful couple. But then when I saw you on social media and you had the last name Shine, I thought that was your last name. I mean, have you had a lot of people tell you that?
Forgotten about that.
Yes, well, because we weren't part of Facebook back then.
We didn't have social media in our lives. And then when we joined CBF, Debbie said, well, everything we do is on Facebook. You have to be on Facebook. And so we created aliases. And so we were Eric and Debbie Shine. And we did that for years.
Yeah. I thought, how cool is that?
The Shine.
Your last name Shine? Like, they were meant to be in the cleaning business. So I had to share that because for years, I don't know how long, but it seemed like years. That's what before I really got to know you.
You're not the only one that thought that. So it's so
funny. Yeah, no, it was funny, but I'm glad you did that because you always, you are both shining bright lights. So it's perfect. But yeah, so I love the name of your business. It's very, energetic. It's very representative of kind of who you are as I've gotten to know you over the years. So as you built your cleaning business, this is True Grime Stories, and we like to talk about the grime. Uh, and one of the things we were talking about earlier before we jumped on the recording today was, what it's like to do business as a couple, as a, partners in life and partners in business. And I was excited to talk about this today because there are so many people, so many entrepreneurs who do that. But in the cleaning industry, tons of people, running their business with their spouse, with their partner, with their sibling, with their best friend. And uh, while it creates some efficiencies, you're running it out of your one home, you have one home and that kind of stuff. There's also some challenges there, right?
Mhm.
So when you started to run into that, like doing business with your life partner, what were some of the challenges that you ran into?
Well,
What was the grime? Let's dig it up.
Ah.
I think at the beginning, probably before we joined CBF, we didn't even recognize that they were challenges. We were just doing it
Mm-hmm.
because our challenges, or at least what we thought, were finding employees, and not having a profitable pricing model. Those were our challenges. We didn't even realize that we had challenges of working together. But then moving forward, our challenges were we had no role clarity whatsoever. She would interview and hire, I would interview and hire. We would both do sales. We were both doing everything. And so, and again, we didn't even realize that was a problem or a challenge. That's just how we were doing it. We have a huge service area, and we would just split up and go do our thing and then come back and compare notes. But later, we would realize that the challenge with that was nobody is accountable or responsible for a particular area. And we're just stepping on each other's toes all day, every day, which wasn't the greatest.
No, I mean, it was, we didn't really realize it, but we were all over each other's boundaries. Lines are blurred. And it was just, it wasn't separate. And so now when it's dinner time, we're talking about business. And so our alone time, our connection, it changed. And it didn't happen overnight. I mean, it just kind of eventually this is how it became normal.
Mm-hmm.
And it really wasn't what we signed up for. But like Eric said, we just didn't know what we didn't know. And we didn't know about staying in each other's lanes and about not stepping on each other's toes. And I'm going to do what I do well here, because this is my learning style. And communication, well, that was just something that we struggled with.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I would guess if you're both doing all the things, because that's what entrepreneurs do. We try to do all the things. And if you're both doing all the things, you probably each have different ways of doing it, right? So you don't have like any consistency there. Here's Eric's way of doing it. Here's Debbie's way of doing it. I can imagine that would cause some problems.
It did.
Like what? What was it? What's an example that pops into your mind of that, overlapping your roles so much?
I don't know that I can think of like a specific example, but I know that I don't like the word argue, but we would have some differences, let's say, in
discussions.
Yes.
Yes.
Conversations.
Yes.
Over like maybe hiring decisions. I think like I would be like, oh, I would have never hired her, or I think you would probably say that to me.
Right. He's data driven, whereas I take a different approach. And so it was very challenging to see eye to eye on, who's going to be hired, and working through whatever a tech has an issue. And the way that we approached it was challenging. And so again, we were stepping over each other's toes. The way I did it didn't work for him. And so these are some of the things that at the very beginning, we were just like, how do we do this?
Well, and the problem with that too, I think you alluded to it earlier, is that you don't realize it's such a slow burn that you don't realize not only is this not efficient and good for our business, but it's carrying over into our relationship. And it changes the way we communicate with each other. It changes the way we love each other. It changes the dynamic of the household.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a period where it was rise and shine all the time.
Right.
I mean, we could be sitting at a baseball game with our kids and we're back and forthing about rise and shine. Whereas now that's not even
Right. It's not our world.
be unheard of.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we just think that is probably like the normal progression of what happens in a family business, is that it just becomes pervasive. It's part of everything that we do.
Yeah.
And I've experienced that. My husband, Terry, and I worked together for decades. We don't anymore, but we did. And I loved it, but we had to learn how to find those lanes and stay in them.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't, it created tension in our home for our children.
Yes.
You know, it was, it definitely can be a big problem. And I hear this all the time in coaching as well. You know, well, my husband is driving me crazy, but I don't know how to talk to him about
Right.
this decision that he made. And I don't want to undermine him, but if this keeps going, I don't know if we can keep working together, you know.
Oh, definitely. Right. It becomes all about, well, I know for us, it was just the focus was work, and we really did forget how to play. And
that's awful.
Right. And so, yeah, I feel for those that have difficulty working through challenges and dialoguing with their partner on next steps that are best without feeling like there's going to be an argument and we're not going to see eye to eye. So yeah, it can be very challenging, very rewarding, but also there's challenges.
And so you started to find your way out of that. So what were some of the things that some of the common, or not common, but the regular practices that you kind of put into your work relationship and into your personal relationship that kind of helped to create a better, environment in both places for you so that it worked better? What are some of the...
I think that for us, we create rhythms. So we kind of have like our morning ritual where we're focused together, and we pray together, we connect, and we have our mushroom coffees together. The house is quiet. And this is how we start every single morning. And I think it's so important to have this ritual, because now that we're empty nesters, it's easier. But when we had the kids in the house, we had to carve out time that was just for us. And so the earlier the morning, the better. So he gets up at 4:30, he starts everything, and then I'm up at 5. The house is still silent, but we've been doing this for years. And I can't tell you how important that is, to start your morning off, your day off as one, on the same page, completely aligned. And it really does set the tone for the rest of the day. So whatever challenge comes our way, we've already started off like we're going to be in sync. We're going to work through whatever challenge with love and light, being respectful to one another. And that's our commitment to each other each morning. And we've been doing that for years.
I think that's...
Yeah.
I also think in terms of the business part of it is role clarity. And we didn't get that until we joined CBF. But once we mapped out our own lanes based on our skill sets, that was a huge difference maker too.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, we're all different types of leaders, and in couples, usually opposites attract, right? So you probably have some very different thought processes and just practices around how you get things done. So how did you split up your roles? What are your kind of role definitions now generally?
Well,
or what they were? I know you have a bigger team now, but
we do have a much bigger team now. But if it has to do with operations, cleaning, or people, technicians, that's Debbie's area.
Okay.
That's not my strong suit.
I'm the people person.
Yeah. So anything that falls under that lands in her lane. And I think pretty much everything else lands in my lane.
Mm-hmm.
So sales,
Yeah.
marketing, data, reporting, stuff like that is all
Right.
comes under me.
Yeah. And that, I mean, you can see how that's very clear, but you can see how it would be messy if you're both like jumping in on either side of that. So those are, I mean, right there, those are two amazing strategies. I love that alignment at the beginning of the day. And I hear from people all the time like, "Oh, I just can't do that. There's no way I can get up early. There's just not enough time in the day to make it happen." But you found a way to
Yeah.
carve that out.
Yeah.
Well, we had a mentor that told us once, he say suffering and suffering. And so,
Oh, wow, powerful.
right, eventually the suffering gets so big that you have to make a change. And so, and maybe we'll talk more about this later, but in our life, in my personal life, cancer diagnosis was that suffering of things have to change in your life. Things have to change in your business. But that applies to everything. When the suffering gets big enough, you'll find a way to get up at 4:30 in the morning or to get up at 5 in the morning, because now we used to just kind of go about our day and we were both doing our own thing and we would connect when we connected. Whereas now we have an intention for the day. The day has an intention. I know what she's doing. I know when we'll get back together. We know what the intention is. And then later in the day, if and when it goes sideways, you can always come back or reflect to yourself, hey, is this what I prayed on this morning? Is the way I'm behaving right now or the way I'm responding to this, is that what I prayed on this morning? And if the answer is no, then you can redirect yourself almost immediately. And so we share that intention every day, and I think it's powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, that is so good. And what a great way to think about, the positive side of suffering is that it does force change, and it makes us become more efficient and things like that. And you shared your cancer journey forces, unfortunately, a lot of change in your lives, and that's something that you both have had to face in the last few years. So how many of us also have life challenges going on as we run our business. And I think that's something that is pretty amazing about you two as well, is that in the midst of your personal challenges, your business continues to thrive. So how did you structure that so that, you could focus on your health, focus on your healing, and at the same time, have your business continue to do well? Because that is something that many people don't master. Their business falls apart when they fall apart.
100%. 100%. I feel like you start and I'll jump in.
Okay. Different mentor gave me the analogy of how many people in your business can get hit by a bus before it affects your business. And at the time, it was two. It was her and I.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we got the first diagnosis, we knew immediately we have to change. We were doing everything then. And so we had to change it. We knew we had to have more structured systems. We had to get everything out of our head and into some type of system that somebody else could follow, which meant once you start doing that, you learn very quickly, I need standardized systems. I can't be customizing things, because I can customize stuff and you can customize stuff, but it's hard to scale that. So we just needed standardized systems, and then we needed to start delegating, which we did almost immediately.
Right.
And then we just let go.
That's the big one, being able to let go. And it was in that our business grew bigger, better, stronger when we were able to let go. And I'm grateful for that, because you have to surrender.
Mm-hmm.
You have to choose. And I trusted the path that we were walking, trusted that we had the systems in place, trusted that we had the right people in place, and then we had to let go.
And I think that's challenging for entrepreneurs. I know it was for me, because I remember thinking, there's no way she can sell cleaning as well as I do. when we were going to turn it over. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
nobody can sell this like
Uh-huh.
me. She runs circles around any numbers that I used to put on the board. Because that's what she does, and she's focused on it all day, and she's awesome at it. And I have one toe in because I'm doing 100 other things when I was doing it. And so I think, if you have the right system in place and you have the right people, then let them run with it.
Yeah. And then you'd be surprised that they can do it better than you can. Right. So that's always just a happy gift.
Yeah, and it's surprising when it happens, but it's such a great thing that when you do give people responsibility, how they rise to the occasion.
100%. 100%. So great.
People want to succeed. People want to please you, their leaders. They get satisfaction from succeeding. And I love that you mentioned that we think that others can't do it as well, but we're the jack of all trades and the master of none. We can't, we can't, when somebody's really focused on a particular task, it's amazing the results they can get. We just didn't know it because we never tried it.
Right.
Yeah. Well, that is such a great story for people to hear, because I think a lot of people get stuck in this and they're not sure how to move forward, doing business with someone that they care about personally. And so another thing that I love about all of this is that something amazing was then born from that. You took your personal challenge, found your way out of it, but now you have created a new program for people just like you who are running business together. You're calling it the Couples Blueprint, and I'm so excited. This is something that we've talked about in our CBF coaching group for a long time, that we need somebody to take this mantle and run with it. And I'm so glad that you did. So tell us about the Couples Blueprint. How are you taking, what you're experiencing and bringing that to other people out there in the cleaning industry looking for help, looking for guidance?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because it's something that we're very passionate about.
Yeah.
We really are. I mean, it's been a ton of fun.
It has been.
It's a new project for us to do together. It's been awesome. It allows us to kind of revisit some of the things that we've done over the years to be successful that we didn't even really necessarily realize maybe we were doing. But essentially, it's a guide that we created to help cleaning business owners that are couples have a stronger marriage as well as a stronger business, both at the same time. And it gives them a clear framework to communicate better, define roles, set boundaries, balance. And it's a 6-month program, essentially. It's open to anybody. You don't have to be a CBF member. And we're super excited about it.
Yeah. It's the first Wednesday of every month. So our next one is December 3rd. And it's at 7 p.m. Central Time. And yeah, we're having a blast. We'd love to have other couples be part of this. And we're excited to see how this evolves.
Wow. This is just so great. I wish all those years ago when Terry and I first started that there was a resource like that, because we nearly killed each other back in the beginning, or walked away, from our relationship because we're like, I just can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so, this is going to be such a great resource for people. What does the session look like? So it starts at 7 p.m. Central, is on Zoom, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
It's a live session.
Yeah. 60.
Okay. Does it run as like a webinar, or is it more like a conversation? Is there Q&A? What's the structure look like?
It's more of a webinar. So I'd say the first 10 minutes is kind of a recap of the month before. There's an action item every time. And so we'll spend a little bit of time if anybody wants to share what they came up with in their action item that they did. We always share we're doing it along with everybody else. Mm-hmm. We always share our action item and what we came up with. And then there's a 40-minute teaching segment, if you will, where we go over the topic of the month. And then more of kind of a 10-minute close where we share, and it's more community driven. Wow,
that's great. And then once people start participating in it, like, can they pick up anywhere? Can they
They absolutely.
join in December or join in January? Does it
Yeah,
matter when?
we've tried to design it to where you could kind of jump in whenever, and you can always get the information from the previous modules. But obviously, you're better off if you jump in the beginning because you are, as a couple, you're creating your own blueprint.
Correct.
As we go through, and it
Right.
covers everything from communication to balance to rhythms, role clarity. Later, we get into vision and finances, and you're creating your own blueprint. And these are all things that, like you said, when you first started out with Terry, it's kind of like parenting, right? There's no roadmap. There's just, here's your kids, go do the best you can.
Mhm.
And there was
Keep them alive.
right. Yep. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, right. We did it. Made it another day.
Right, yeah.
And that's kind of how, looking back over this, that's kind of how working with your spouse or significant other is. There's nobody tells you how to do it. And so we just wanted to create a simple roadmap. And if you're in at the beginning, you're creating your own blueprint.
That is so cool. Well, I'm so excited for our industry. I mean, this is something that can be helpful for all entrepreneurs, I'm sure, but just starting here, I think this is the beginning of something amazing and great. So, I'd like to come back. I'd like to take a little break right now and we talked about CBF a little bit today. So share with everyone about CBF, but then come back and talk about kind of the results that you're seeing in the long run, your future plans and things like that. So let's hear about CBF, and we will be right back with Eric and Debbie. Is your cleaning business a grime story? There's no need to stay stuck in the muck because you're not alone. With over 500 active members and more than 500 graduates of our Cleaning Business Fundamentals program, CBF is the #1 cleaning business academy in the world and has created more mop-free millionaires than any program in the industry. Learn more and let CBF take your residential cleaning business from a grime story to a gleaming success. Well, welcome back, everyone, to True Grime Stories. We're here with Eric and Debbie Emms, telling us about not only their great business in Portland, Rise and Shine Cleaning Service, but also how they found their way to running business as a couple in a very successful way, and turning that actually into an educational and support program for couples out there called the Couples Blueprint. So this is a great opportunity for couples. Can you share a little bit about maybe you've had one meeting so far or two?
Yes.
One. So what did you talk about on the first one? Just generally, what was a strategy that you introduced?
Well, the first one was just kind of a overview of what to
Okay.
expect in the program. We just wanted to introduce it and kind of give everyone the expectation of what the blueprint is like going through it. And so we just kind of laid it out. So for example, in December, coming up on December 3rd is module 1, and that's balance and rhythm. So we're going to get into role clarity, creating rhythms, not just for your business, but for your relationship as well. And so that'll be module 1.
That is so cool. I think, again, also people don't tell you how to be a married couple. The only example that you have is, people around you, which may or may not be a great example of what you've experienced in your lifetime. And so what a great thing that you have this opportunity to not only help people in their businesses, but to, help make their lives better, their marriages stronger. So once you started implementing these things in your business, kind of what have you seen in your lives? How has it, and you've shared somehow it's impacted your business, but how has it impacted your marriage, your family life?
Gosh, we have peace. We have peace because when we were in the chaos, peace didn't live in our home. And when things started to align and we started to put the systems in place, then we really started to fall into sync. And we couldn't, and I have to mention this because again, none of this is possible without Christ. So we really leaned into our relationship with him, and it's changed our life. We, like I said, the most important is peace and love, and our life is filled with that. You know, I'm in a season of healing, so I talk about love and light quite a bit because that's the season I'm in. But without any of this being put together in our company, when Eric was first diagnosed, my healing season could be very different. Things would have looked probably a little bit different. And I'm so grateful that, you know, everything happens for a reason. And you know, back when Eric was diagnosed, we surrendered. And so when I got,
It's okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, this is life, you know, it really is. I had a feeling I was probably going to cry this episode.
so I'm going to get through this.
Okay.
So when I got my diagnosis, I knew
Mhm.
what to do. I knew what to do. And I'm so grateful that we were able to lean into each other and put our priorities ahead of everything else, each other. We put each other first. And because of that, I'm able to walk this healing season without stress, without worry about our business falling apart, without the peace that now is in our life. And I'm grateful for CVF. I'm grateful that we knew to do better, to invest in ourselves as leaders, that if we wanted something different, we had to do something different. And I feel like I'm off on a side tangent here.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it though. We are all, you know, one day away from some really challenging part of our life. You know, life is hills and valleys, and you know, whenever those things come along, are we prepared? And what you put into place when, you know, Eric was diagnosed set the stage for you to be even more prepared.
100%
So, yeah, and
grateful.
and and doing the work ahead of time before the challenge strikes, before, you know, whatever it is that's coming hits, to have this. I mean, what a gift for people to have a plan before it actually comes, you know,
Yeah, I think there's
benefit from what you learned and to take that and help other people be prepared.
100%.
There's a lot to unpack there, but to get back to your original question, for me, I agree with you. It's how this has changed our relationship. The blueprint is the peace and the joy, because prior to that, the peace and the joy followed the same trajectory as rise and shine. So in good times, the house was peaceful and joyous because there was an abundance and everything was great. But then in the valleys, there was no peace and joy. Whereas now, it's always peace and joy.
Right.
So that's the biggest thing for me. And then you had just mentioned that life is hills and valleys. And, you know, depending on your situation, we have 6 kids, and back then they were much younger. If you want to own your own business, it can't stall because you have chaos in your life. And that's a hard pill for people to swallow. Like, life's full of challenges and curveballs. And if your business is going to crumble every time you're faced with one of those curveballs, do you really have a business, or do you have a job that kind of goes sideways every time you get thrown a curveball? And so you have to put systems and plans into place that, hey, what happens if things aren't all sunshine and rainbows?
Right. You don't want to have to respond in fear. And when we had my diagnosis, we didn't respond with fear because we had everything in place. And so it's like, okay, what's next?
Yeah, yeah. And when you first said peace, like, I I had a physical reaction to that because I remember not having any peace.
Mm,
And I think that is something that we all yearn for. And many of us have not experienced it, or only experienced it in like small tastes.
right.
And to have your days filled with peace, and peace isn't, you know, fun and laughter all the time. It's, you know, joy isn't happiness. It's, you know, peace and joy that go together, that you can be joyful even in these really challenging times that you're going through, you know. And that is being prepared and having a plan and having that structure that you need. So what a great, you know, way to help others. What a great ministry for you too, to be able to like also share your faith um, with others as they're kind of facing things.
Yeah.
But it's only a matter of time for all of us to have something come up, like you said, curveball in life.
Mhm.
Like, okay, what are we going to do about that?
Right.
Mhm.
So I thank you for putting this together for people in our industry and everyone who's watching. I know you're like, well, how do I sign up? How do I get involved? I gotta be there. So be sure, and we'll be sure and share links so that you can sign up for the next installment of the Couples Blueprint program with Eric and Debbie. It'll be right in our show notes. You'll be able to check that out. Don't miss it. And who would be the great people to be there? I mean, obviously, you know, people who are married, but does it also address, you know, family members working together or,
Yeah,
you know, that kind of thing?
it does. I mean, I'm sure there's some similarities and there's some things you could take away from it, but it's designed for people in a romantic relationship that are
Mm-hmm.
running a business together. I mean, that it
Yeah.
comes with its own unique set
Right.
of challenges.
Yes, it does.
It's easy to sometimes feel like you're just on this island by yourself with your partner, like nobody else can understand what you're going through, because it is very special and it is unique. But it's different than running a business if you're just doing it by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
For sure. For sure. Well, I think it's going to be amazing. I know, you know, you had great turnout on your first one. So everyone, don't miss your chance to participate in the couples blueprint. So, you know, all things being said, kind of what's the future hold for your business, for the couples blueprint? I know you guys are getting ready to go live out of country for a year, that's a whole other story. We were just talking about before we started recording. And you can't do that if your business isn't running smoothly. I mean, you'll be basically kind of leading from afar,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. We're excited. We leave December 8th to Tulum, Mexico, and we're going to be there for a year. And it allows me to go back and forth to continue receiving cancer treatments at Hope for Cancer, which is in Cancun. And so it's a year of just being completely immersed in the healing, and I can't wait. I'm excited. It's
Hmm.
everything that we could have imagined, and we found ourselves as empty nesters being able to do this and having our business at a place where we can run this from anywhere in the country. Um, and that's just amazing. So
Yeah, that's
we're,
a great accomplishment.
I think what's cool, one of the things that's really cool for me is, um, I don't remember the exact verbiage, but Debbie Sardone had said something a while ago about, does it make the boat go faster?
Hmm.
And we talk a lot about your vision and your dreams and your goals and all of that stuff. And for us, we do a vision meeting every year, and the foundational things on our vision were to grow our relationship with Christ and healing for Debbie. Those were the first two things. And if you think about a foundation, nothing else can happen if those other two things don't happen. It's the foundation. And then so we started stripping everything away, and we were like, well, why couldn't we, if that's the foundation, why couldn't we just go live there for a year? And then we reverse engineered that out over the course of a year. And now it's bearing out, and it's really exciting.
Yeah, that is so exciting. But like you said, if you don't have those foundational things in place, all the other stuff can't happen.
right.
So that visioning, that's so important. And it'll be really a blessing to watch your journey as you go through that. We'll be praying for your continued healing, Debbie, and just so grateful for Eric's healing as well. And but this is a big part of that. If you don't have peace, it's hard to heal your body.
100%.
And yeah, I mean, it's just so difficult if you're don't have that peace in your heart. So,
100%.
congratulations to you both. I'm so glad that you joined us today. You were able to share your story. If you had one piece of advice for, or two, because there's two of you, cleaning business owners out there who are running their business with their, partner in life, what would be the one thing to do other than be it the couple's blueprint, of course?
Well, that would be number
That's-
one.
that's-
That'd be the number one piece of advice. Yeah.
Always put each other first. No matter how much your business grows or doesn't grow, successful or not successful, your marriage always comes first. You always have to put your other person as a priority.
For
Right?
sure.
Money comes
So
in-
easy to get off track on that, though.
100%.
So easy to put all the urgent things in front of.
100%. It's easy to get lost in the busyness and forget what truly matters at the end of the day.
Yeah, and not take them for granted.
Yeah.
Totally agree. I know for us anyway, both of us would walk away from Rise and Shine like that if we couldn't somehow figure out a way to make it work in our relationship.
Mhm. That's a big commitment, and a lot of people get lost in thinking that I need this thing that's my financial support, but if you don't have your people, what do you have? So I love that. That's a
Right.
great,
You know, more money.
You can always have more stuff, but you can't have your person.
right. You can always, yeah. I say that to Terry all the time. I'm like, I can make money later.
That's right.
I just want to be with you today.
That's right. Yeah. Got
It's
it.
like, yeah. He's always like, you need to go do that. Go do this. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
just be with you today. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
so important. So important because you can never get that time back.
No.
You said we got two. We get two pieces of advice.
Okay, you go.
My other piece of advice would be to take action.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this a couple days ago about how, as an entrepreneur, you read all these books or you take all these programs or you sign up with a coach and you're absorbing all of this information, but there's a huge percentage of people that don't ever do anything with that information. So you're just a much smarter entrepreneur that has
all this stuff.
Right. And
I read all these books.
Action, no matter what, whether it's your books you're reading or your coaching you're getting or your program, one foot, you got to take one rung of the ladder at a time, but you have to keep moving forward. You have to take action.
Right. Your business can only grow as much as you're willing to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So important. Such good advice. Such good advice. Well, what a joy this has been. I mean, I haven't been able to see you guys much lately, and just to get this time together has been wonderful. But I'm just so excited and inspired by what you're doing in your life, everything that you're doing, your rise and shine, your health journey, and now what you're doing with the couples blueprint. So thank you for being, you two share so well. I just, when it's amazing. I have a hard time opening up, and the way that you have, opened up your life and kind of let us all in has really been so helpful to others. And I just want to thank you for that.
Well, that's interesting. And it's our pleasure. I think we take joy out of it too. We feel called to be the light and to be the lighthouse, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, when I was diagnosed, we didn't tell anybody for, I think 2, maybe 3 years. We suffered in silence because I didn't want to be the cancer guy. And so didn't share. And I'm so proud of you for seeing it differently and for leading me to a different. So we did share my journey towards the end in the last year. Everybody's going through something. And they can learn from our experience. And so I think it's a beautiful thing to share. And I think Debbie Sardone told us that one time, make your mess your message.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah. It's not easy to do, but oh goodness, what it can do for others. Not only, and then it all comes back to you, doesn't it? Like just all that energy just comes flowing back. Well, thank you, Eric and Debbie, touching lives all the time. Blessings to you in your new adventure and in in your 1 year living out of the country in Mexico, but also in the Couples Blueprint. And congratulations on your success with Rise and Shine. We're so glad to have had you here on True Grime Stories. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Bless you, Jeannie. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you. Yes. And to everyone listening to this episode, thank you for being part of it. I bet you're inspired too. So, like Eric said, it's time to take action. So, check out the show notes. We'll have a link there so you can get involved with the Couples Blueprint, check out Rise and Shine Cleaning. But if you'd like to know more about cleaning business fundamentals, there's also a link there where you can connect with me. I'd love to talk with you. And be sure to subscribe, share, and download. People are loving True Grime Stories, and you can help other cleaning business owners by just sharing with them. So hope to see you all on the next episode of True Grime Stories. Until then, thank you and goodbye, everyone. That's a wrap on today's True Grime Stories. Thanks for joining us in uncovering the secrets of cleaning business success. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and download. And check out our show notes for links and info from today's episode. And to learn more about our sponsor, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. Join us next time as we solve another True Grime story.